We welcome you, Mike Tirico, alongside Greg Olson, the kicker, Brandon Aubrey. Set for the start. Off we go on Sunday Night Football. And he'll be brought down just beyond the 25-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
Let's go now.
Daniels starts with a pass. And he just does get that one away. He was being chased down, forced the awkward throw. Maybe he's fortunate that all it is an incompletion.
I think he knew in the back of his head, Mike, he had to get rid of this ball a little sooner than he would have liked. And with that pressure getting there in a hurry, it just ends up being a wasted down.
2nd and 10.
Come on, set. Cougar 19.
Operating from the gun, it's Daniels. A throw there on 2nd down, going to be incomplete.
And I like this defensive game plan. When you're going against an elite quarterback like this guy, Mike, you have to get bodies in his face. You have to get him around his feet. You have to move him off his spot. Because if he can sit there in rhythm, on time, comfortable in the pocket, he is going to pick you apart. So it doesn't always have to be a sack, but you have to make him uncomfortable in the pocket.
On 3rd down, they'll throw with Daniels. And that is incomplete.
Remember what they told us, Mike, leading up to this game. They said it is so critical for us to find success, especially on 3rd down. We want to maintain possession, extend these drives. Well, the first crack comes up, and they fail through the air, and we have to regroup and be able to have better success throughout the remainder of this game.
But he cannot get away. Great job down there to hold him to a short return.
At their own 35-yard line.
From the 35, it's 1st and 10. They put Pickens in motion. They fake the jet sweep and give it up the middle. And this play going nowhere. He is taken down behind the line of scrimmage on their first play of the game.
So everything this defense talks about, Mike, is creating negative plays. It's one of the best run defenses in football. Everything is about suffocating you at the line of scrimmage, make you work for everything you get.
They put Pickens in motion. They'll look to throw. Now a ball deep, middle of the field. That is brought in. And he will score. Touchdown, Dallas. That's his 8th touchdown of the season. A beautiful combination in the air there. The pass downfield and bringing it the rest of the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
And it's really just a great route, Mike, and then a beautiful throw. The accuracy of the throw is what allowed the receiver not only to secure the catch, but then be able to turn it up and finish the play and find himself in the end zone.
So now, after the touchdown, out is Aubrey to kick this one away. A safe kick taken at the 5. And he'll manage to get this back only to about the 20-yard line.
At their own 20-yard line.
Here we go, set. Hawk 70, Hawk 70.
Daniels now on 1st down. There's Kyle Pitts with the grab. Look at the big guy rumble. And he's going to be brought down inside the 15. A big play there for Washington. A gain of 66 yards.
First and 10 at the
now Daniels throwing on 1st and 10. That's going to be incomplete. coverage. Very stout there. That's going to bring up second down.
All things considered, it's actually a pretty good pass. I mean, he puts the ball in a place where only his guy can catch it. But I think he hears those footsteps coming from that nearest defender, and he's not able to secure the catch through contact.
That one to the end zone, but incomplete. Terry McLaurin, the intended target on that one. And it's going to be third down.
Not only does he let the ball go through his hands, he lets 6 points slip away with that drop. I mean, everyone else does their job. The ball's on target. Listen, this is the big boy league now. The reality is, you've just got to catch the ball.
So after back-to-back incompletions, it is now third and 10.
19, Tiger, 19.
Daniels going to throw again. Oh, an ill-advised throw there. It's an interception. And the Cowboys are going to take over once again at their own 25-yard line.
Oh, and in that spot, Mike, that's just painful to see. If the throw's not there, you want him to just get rid of it. Throw it 50 rows into the stands. Give somebody a souvenir. But worst case scenario, you've got to get to fourth down and have a shot at 3 points. But instead, after that pick, you come away with 0.
They'll gain 17 on that one. A very quick first down. Lou going to get it again here on first down. And he'll try to keep his footing. Manages to work it ahead for a couple of yards.
A 3-yard pickup. Brings up second.
Ball spotted at the 45. Here's second and 7. A run once more with Lou. And that won't get a whole lot. Maybe a yard. That's it.
He does a nice job coming from his safety position, filling his run gap assignment, and keeps this to a modest gain at best.
On third down, they'll set up to throw. He's got a receiver, and that's Lamb. A pickup there of 19 yards. First down, Cowboys.
These third down conversions are just so important, Mike. Everybody stresses we want to possess the ball, give our offense as much opportunity to end as many drives as we can, scoring points. So if you want to stay on the field, you better be good on third down. They got there in a hurry, didn't they, Mike? I mean, luckily for him, he saw that free rusher coming, and at the very least was able to get that ball out to prevent the sack.
Back to the air again on second and 10. Just trying to avoid the rush there. He's hit as he threw, and the pass is incomplete.
This defense is vulnerable in a few areas along the back end, but none of that will matter if this protection can't do a better job holding up long enough that they can find some of these open receivers that have been able to separate. He just doesn't have the time to get the ball.
And he won't quite make it to the pylon, but he's out of bounds right around the 1-yard line. A huge play for Dallas. It's a gain of 34. They'll try to run this one in. And he's not going to get in. In fact, he'll lose yardage. They push him backwards.
In these goal-to-go situations backed up on your own goal line, Mike, what they teach the defense is it's your job to establish a new line of scrimmage. And that's exactly what they did here. Watch the push they get. The offensive line goes backwards, and they take the ball carrier down for a loss.
And he's so close to the goal line. Couldn't get that ball extended. They keep him out, and it sets up third and goal.
A bit of a quick hitter here, and what you're hoping for, Mike, is that the defense can't react quickly enough because the ball's coming out so hot. But they knew it was coming, and they end up holding them to just a short gain.
Lou is in. Touchdown, Dallas.
Tell you what, this offense has come out, and they have completely dominated here in the early going, Mike. I mean, this has just been methodical, sustained, back-to-back drives right down the field. And then to finish in the red zone, man, you just can't draw it up any better than that.
Brandon Aubrey to kick off for the Cowboys.
So now, after the touchdown, out is Aubrey to kick this one away. That ball going to hop into the end zone. It's a touchback that will come out to the 20-yard line. The drive begins at the 20. Here's 1st and 10.
Set up. Cowboy 80. 18 Cardinal, 18 Cardinal.
And movement up front. And that's our first time tonight to check in with our referee.
Ready up. Cup 19. Cup 19. 60 Eagles. Ready.
From the shotgun, it's Daniel. That is downfield to the tight end Pitts. Big gain, and that changes the complexion of this drive all the way down to the 40-yard line.
That's good for
a big play there for Washington. 45 yards.
40-yard line.
They'll come up 1st and 10 at the 40.
Bronco 80.
Now some movement up front. Flags down. Mistake-filled first half continues.
70 range.
On play action, Daniels. He fires downfield for Pitts. That one incomplete. The defender right there to make the play. And it's 2nd down. Trying to get it to Kyle Pitts. And that will lead to a 2nd down.
Ready, set. Let's go now. 70 Timberwolves. Ready, ready.
Working out of the gun, it's Daniels. That's going to be incomplete. Coverage very good there. Contact jarring the ball loose. And it's going to force 3rd down.
I know it fell for an incompletion, but pretty impressive. He was able to push that ball really far downfield as he was being hit. Really says a lot about the arm strength that this quarterback has.
Ready. Cougar 19. Ready, go.
3rd and long, and here's Daniel. And that is incomplete.
I just don't like the look of this passing game, Mike. It just seems a bit erratic. On top of the 2 straight incompletions, they've already turned the ball over through the air. And truthfully, with how dangerous some of these throws have been, they're lucky it hasn't been even more.
Early big play here. They're going to go for it on 4th down.
Here we go. Start.
Throwing again. Daniel. He's got a man. It's McLaurin. And he's going to have a Commander's 1st down on what will be a big play there from 4th and long. Even in the air, here's Daniels. That is incomplete. No way to force the football in there. Good coverage. It'll bring up 2nd down.
It's now 2nd down.
He's usually such a reliable target in the passing game, Mike. We just don't see him struggle to come down with catches like that all too often. And when you're one of the go-to guys on your team, I know the hit's coming, but guess what? It feels a lot better after you take that hit after a catch than it does after a drop. Mike, when you're completing less than 35% of your passes, you're just not going to win a lot of games in the NFL. He's just too erratic throughout the course of the game. Sometimes it's exactly how they practiced. And at other times, it looks like they've never practiced at all.
To the air again is Daniels. Short throw taken by Pitts. And the Commander's going to be set up with 1st and goal. Pass play moves them down to the 1.
And this is what can happen when you're so worried about protecting the sticks, Mike. You force them to throw the ball underneath, but then you've got to be able to rally the ball and tackle. But they weren't able to do it before he gets to the line to gain, and he ends up picking up the 1st down anyway.
That's swung out to Krosky Merritt, and he's going to wind up losing yardage here, and that will take us to the end of the opening quarter of play. Commanders with the football to begin the second quarter as they come up now, 2nd and goal.
Get it!
Now Daniels. Quick throw here is complete. Oh, a nice open field tackle there. He could not get free. They're going to stop him for no gain.
79 Broncos.
3rd and goal. It's Daniels. And the rush gets home. He'll go down. They got him.
And it looked like that zone coverage had his head a little bit spinning there, Mike. I'm not sure he got a real...
Oh, and a flip back to the kicker. It's a fake. That's caught. And that is not going to be nearly enough. Talk about a decision ripe for second guessing. The defense wasn't fooled one bit by that fake. And the offense has turned it over on downs. They'll start this on the ground with Blue. And that one shut down pretty quickly. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it.
Well, there hasn't been a whole lot for this crowd to be excited about on either side of the ball, but at least now the defense is trying to be that spark. Nice tackle for loss there. Can they do something to build upon to try to get this team going?
Lost one on the last play, so now it's 2nd and 11. From down near his goal line, and the pressure too great. He's sacked in the end zone. That's a safety. So first the decision to throw down here, backed up near your own goal line, and the defense gets to the quarterback, sacking him, Greg, in the end zone for a safety.
Mike, anytime you're willing to call a pass backed up this deep in your side of the field, you have to trust that your quarterback is going to have the clock in his head to get the ball out of his hand. In this case, he holds on to it too long. The defense is able to get to him in the end zone, and it results in the safety.
10 at the 31-yard line.
Back. 60 Eagles, 60 Eagles. Warriors 70. Ready.
Off the play fake, here's Daniels. Going for it all. And his offense is going to be all set up with a short field and a chance to extend their lead.
It's not often, Mike, that everything breaks right for this type of return off of an interception. But, boy, is it beautiful when it does. I mean, look at the defenders just flip around and become blockers, trying to spring their guy to the house. Great athleticism, some great moves on his part. I mean, he's going to have some of his offensive teammates looking over their shoulder for their position.
Right away, they'll set up to throw. Short pass taken in by the tight end. That's a nice pickup on a first down throw. It's a gain of 8.
So the hope is when you call these underneath drag routes, you're trying to have your tight end come out the backside of the defense in space. So when you put the ball on him early, it leads to big yards after the catch. In this case, they don't get the real big play they were hoping for.
And he'll take this one in. Jaden Blue. Touchdown, Cowboys. 2 touchdowns for him in the game. Numbers 10 and 11 on the year.
Mike, we used to have a saying that it was the responsibility of the receiver to run the route through the eyes of the quarterback. And I think this is a great example here. Two guys clearly on the same page. Quarterback expected his target to be in a certain place at a certain time. He's there, ball's delivered accurately. He's able to pick up the rest with his legs, and that's a big-time connection for the touchdown.
Get it.
On 1st and 10, here's Daniel. He'll be hit as he throws, and that one will wind up incomplete. Could not step into the throw that time. It'll bring up 2nd down.
As a pass rusher, you don't always need to record a sack to make your presence felt. Creating pressure, move the quarterback, affect his timing. Those are all different ways to take pressure off your coverage unit.
That run complete to Jalen Lane. And he'll be taken down, but they are in business inside the 30-yard line. A big play there for Washington. 37 yards.
Panther 60, Panther 60.
To throw is Daniels on 1st and 10. And he'll just get rid of this. Smart play to throw it away, and that'll set up 2nd down.
Nice example there, Mike, of the quarterback just being smart with the ball, understanding it didn't quite develop the way he had intended. Throw that ball out of harm's way, live to play another down.
We'll try again. It's 2nd and 10.
Here we go, shot. 70 Lions. Steady,
Operating from the gun, it's Daniels. Off he goes. And he will take this into the end zone. What a run. Jaden Daniels. Touchdown, Washington. Well, that is a step in the right direction, finding the end zone. I don't know, Greg. Could this be building some momentum for these guys, and that's important before halftime?
Absolutely, and I think the biggest thing this coach is trying to get across right now on the sideline, Mike, is let's just cut into this lead. And
for the 3rd time in this first half, he's been intercepted. Picked off by the rookie from Washington. Still on the move.
I'm always curious how a defense is going to respond. So you give up a touchdown, you give up 6, and now the offense is trying to extend it to 8. How are you going to buckle down? How are you going to hang in there? In this case, let's give them a little credit. Keep those 2 off the board, and they can come to the sideline and regroup.
A good return as he takes it across the 30.
Please take over 1st and 10 at their own 32-yard line.
They put Pickens in motion. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. That one swung out to Blue. And he'll be taken down rather swiftly after a gain of just 3. From the 35, here's 2nd down and 7. We're going to put a man in motion to the right. He'll look to throw. That's complete to Blue. There he goes again. And he's going to be brought down inside the 15. A big play for the Cowboys. It covers 51 yards.
As that play unfolded, Mike, I thought he was going to have a chance to find the end zone for the 2nd time here today. And I'll be honest, if I'm the play caller, at the end of this drive, I might give him one more shot at the end zone. But either way, they got to be thinking coming away here with 6.
That's complete. Left side, Pickens. And he's into the end zone. What a response. George Pickens. Touchdown, Dallas. It's his 3rd touchdown catch this year.
His kick is good.
And the show continues. What a first half he's had, Greg. A 3rd touchdown pass with that one.
Mike, what stood out to me the most so far is just the amount of space these guys have had to operate in. I think if I'm this defensive coordinator, me and my staff at halftime are revisiting this game plan. They obviously felt good about it coming in, but I don't think there's anything to feel good about thus far.
He'll get this up to the 28-yard line. Nice place for the drive to start.
28-yard line.
Got it. Ready?
Off the bootleg.
Pretty evident that the defense is just giving no time of day to any run actions. They are playing pass all the way, and he can continue to give as many play action fakes as he wants. It hasn't affected anybody, and in this case, it results in a sack.
Work to do now as they come up on 2nd and long.
Come on. Set. Bronco 80. Let's go.
They'll throw with Daniels. And for the 3rd time in this first half, he's been intercepted. Picked off by Savon Revel. And he is going to bring this one back. A DB's dream. A pick 6 for touchdown. Now Aubrey for the extra point. It's up and good. Cowboys add on one more as they extend their 2nd quarter lead. So now, after the touchdown, out is Aubrey to kick this one away. And no chance to return this one through the end zone for a touchback.
35-yard line.
Ready. Hawk 70. Tag. Viking 18.
Now it's the Arizona product that is Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt. And he slips through an opening. Winds up getting about 8. That is past the 40-yard line.
8 yards on the pickup.
From the 43, here's 2nd and a couple.
Ready. 18.
Throwing now, Daniel. And he'll be taken down. The gain is 6, and it's a new set of downs. He picked up the first down.
Doing a nice job there to move the chains early in this drive, but now as they approach midfield, continue to keep your foot on the gas. Don't get conservative. Don't start sitting on the ball. Cross midfield and go. Anytime you find yourself on your opponent's side of the field, you have to be thinking points.
Ready.
Now Daniels throwing on 1st and 10. And he's going to be taken down right at the 25-yard line. That's his 3rd catch of this first half, and good enough for a first down.
That's another Washington first down. 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line.
Here we go.
From the shotgun, it's Daniels. This one broken up. It's incomplete. The defender right there with him. It brings up 2nd down.
It's now 2nd and 10 at the 25-yard line.
60 Vikings, 60, 19 Tiger. 60 Maverick. Ready.
Daniels with a give to Krosky-Merritt. He'll get about 3, and that's going to lead to 3rd down. Here comes 3rd and 6.
It's a gain of 4. Brings up 3rd and 6.
The Commanders will signal for the first of their timeouts, and they'll stop it just over a minute remaining in this first half.
Okay, ready.
3rd and 6.
Set it. Ready.
To throw is Daniels. A throw on the move is caught. And a good short tackle right there. It stops him a good distance short of the marker. It sets up 4th down. He's got it inside the 5. To the goal line and in. Harry McLaurin. Touchdown, Commanders.
You know, Mike, I think we're going to see a lot of this, and you know why? It's the new kickoff rule. So think about it. In the old days, you'd kick a field goal, you'd kick a touchback. and your opponent would have the ball on the 20. You didn't give up as much field position, but you only got 3 points. Nowadays, you go for 3 points and you kick a touchback. They get the ball on the 35. It's almost 30 yards of field position. You're just better off going for touchdowns when you get in here tight.
Still a little time. Final minute of this first half. We'll see if they can do anything with this kickoff that is coming their way. Cavante Turpin on the return. And their drive will begin at the 30-yard line.
The Cowboys take over first and 10 at their own 30-yard line.
Back to throw here to begin the drive. Throwing it right into the hands of his running back. And he's going to get this one out to the 43-yard line. And now the Cowboys going to take a timeout as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in this second quarter.
First and 10 at the 43-yard line.
Ready up. 18. Here we go.
Now, faking the give. That is caught downfield by Pickens. And he will go all the way. George Pickens. Touchdown, Cowboys. His second touchdown of this first half. And that is number 2. Greg, he is off to some kind of start of this one. 2 quarters and 2 receiving touchdowns.
Mike, this is one of those situations where as a defensive coordinator, you've got to give your group an answer. Because right now, they don't have one for this guy.
Cup 19. Cup 19. Let's go. Bronco.
On first down, Daniel. Throw over the middle, and they can't connect. It's incomplete.
Well, it's pretty clear the main reason why they find themselves trailing in this game, Mike, has really just been the inefficiency of this offense and primarily out of the quarterback position. I mean, to complete less than half of your pass attempts, it just makes it very hard to compete at a high level consistently in the NFL, and they want to find themselves having any chance of getting back into this game and winning this one. He's going to have to get a lot better with the ball.
Now a timeout here by Washington. That is their second as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in the opening half. So they come to the line for first down and 10.
Viking 18.
Working out of the gun, it's Daniel. Quick throw, taken in. Now the Commanders will use their third and final timeout as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half.
So they have these rules for the receivers, Mike. They call them green grass rules, and the idea is if you're running across the field and you're looking at the quarterback, you're going to stay on the run. If you're not looking at the quarterback, that tells him, I'm going to sit in this soft zone. I'm going to what they call punch and pivot and stop. And that tells the quarterback to put the ball on your chest. That nonverbal communication between the receiver and the quarterback, recognizing when you're open, stay open, that's the stuff that makes a lot of these offenses so difficult to defend. The defender saw this the entire way, Mike. He actually ran the route before the receiver even got to his spot. I think they're fortunate this one didn't end up getting picked and going the other way.
Third and a yard.
Come on. 18. Pioneer. 60 back. Ready.
They'll go play action here with Daniels. That's the 4th time tonight he's been intercepted. And he will be brought down on what will be the final play here in this first half. Very one-sided first half of action. Will we get a turnaround? Let's find out. The third quarter is underway. The return team going to let that one go. It'll go through the end zone. It's a touchback. The drive starts with a carry by Blue. Angling to the sideline, inside the 35. And he's going to get this all the way down to the Commanders' 29-yard line. A big one there to start the second half. 36 yards.
29-yard line.
Again, it's Blue. And he'll try to keep his footing, manages to work it ahead for a couple of yards.
He was brought down at the 26. A 3-yard pickup. Brings up second and
So,
7.
from the 26-yard line, here's second down and 7. Straight ahead, it's Blue. He'll try to get back to the line, but it's not happening. Gonna lose a yard.
He sniffed that one out from the jump. I mean, once he diagnosed and knew where the ball was going, he got there in a hurry, and he put an end to that play really before it ever got started.
On third down, they'll set up to throw. In the middle of the field, it's taken by C.D. Lamb. 15 yards through the air. That's good for a Dallas first down.
And another great throw. And I'll tell you what, Mike, so far today, this certainly does not look like a rookie quarterback. I mean, he is in complete control of this offense.
From the gun, they'll go with Blue. He'll struggle to get back to the line of scrimmage. Maybe he gets a yard out of that one. It's second down.
Second and 9.
They put Pickens in motion. Out of the gun, a give to Blue. And he will not be able to get free, picking up only a yard. Now, it's third down.
A 1-yard pickup brings up third and 8.
Here we go.
Out of the gun, he'll throw, and that is incomplete.
Great pass rushers live for third down, especially when they know the offense has to be one-dimensional. And this is a great example here, Mike. They can just pin their ears back and go. They know there is no threat for run. It is a must-pass situation, and for this offense, they're lucky it didn't result in a sack. Anytime you find yourself kicking in these elements, Mike, you just can't take anything for granted, especially when it comes to your plant foot. Your balance, your control, your footing. It's so important. And give credit, he does a great job here able to put that one through.
First and 10 at their own 1-yard line.
On the ready. Warriors, set. Here we go. Shot.
Daniels now on first down. Short throw taken by Pitts. And he is out of bounds. They'll mark him just shy of the 20. 6 catches for him in the ball game now. And this one's good for a first down.
First down.
Ready.
First and 10.
Daniels now going to look to throw. He's hit as he threw. It goes to the ground, and it's an incomplete pass.
The pass protection's been a little bit shaky at times, and that was the case there. And even though they're not going to go down for allowing a sack, it was allowing the pressure that ultimately prevented that pass from being completed.
They'll try again here. Second and 10.
Ready. Go.
Throwing is Daniel. That's caught downfield. McLaurin brings it in. And he's going to take this all the way to the house. 80 yards. Touchdown, Washington.
Touchdown, Washington.
So now Daniels and the Commanders offense going to go for 2.
Ready.
Washington will line up with a 2-point
Keep it in the air. Here's Daniels. The pass rush gets home, and he goes down.
So they decided to put the ball in the air, which I don't mind on this two-point try, but execution was just a little bit off, and it's not going to work out in their favor this time around.
On the return, here's Turpin. He'll get this past the 20 before he's brought down shy of the 25-yard line. Operating from their own 23, they'll begin 1st and 10. A run with Blue. And he's going to get this one out to the 43-yard line. That's a gain of 19 and a very quick 1st down.
Well, really nice start here to the drive. Early down success. Every offensive coordinator is trying to find ways. How do we pick up 1st downs without having to get to 3rd down? We see it here. Big explosive run. Now the rest of the drive unfolds.
To the air now on 1st and 10. And he's not going to get too far, tackled after a gain of just a yard.
It's pretty well read there defensively. Anytime you throw these quick passes to the wide receivers, you're looking to pick your gain up after the catch. So let's give credit to the defense. Rally and tackle in space and keep that to a pretty modest gain.
And they're going to work this down inside the 45.
I always think you can tell pretty quickly how comfortable a quarterback is in their offense, Mike, by how fast they work through their progression and get the ball to their check down underneath. And in this case, with the depth of the defense, a lot of space in the short game, get him the ball, pick up the 1st down.
And he will slosh his way forward on the wet surface for a gain of a yard. From the 41, here's 2nd and 8. They run straight ahead with Blue. Running room hard to come by as he'll get ahead for a yard. Javon Kinlaw there for the stop. What can they do here on 3rd down and 7? And that is incomplete. We'll get a stoppage here. There is an injured Cowboy. The training staff going to look and will step out for a moment. On for the field goal now, it's Brandon Aubrey. He is 2 for 2. That kick is good. And the Cowboys will extend their 3rd quarter lead.
I think at this point in the game, Mike, when you have things under control, not only were they able to hold on to the ball for a while, they still were able to manage to add 3 points.
This will be taken at the goal line, and he'll return it. And he will get back to only about his 20-yard line. That's where the drive will start.
At their own 20-yard line.
Hawk 70, Hawk 70.
Let's start the drive with Kronsky Merritt. And he will slosh his way forward on the wet surface for a gain of a yard.
A gain of a yard brings up 2nd and 9.
Ready?
From the 21, here's 2nd and 9.
Get it. Ready?
Operating from the gun, it's Daniel. Well, he's brought down. That pass is going to pick up 4 and bring up 3rd down.
That's a gain of 5. Brings up 3rd and 4.
Now Daniels. Downfield, got a man, and he's got it. That's catch number 5 tonight, and it's good for a 1st down.
3rd downs, Mike, those are quarterback downs. Those are the downs where you tend to find yourself in a must-pass situation, and that's where the top guys in the league are still capable of overcoming it. So throw the ball downfield, be accurate with the ball. Winning on 3rd downs, that is a recipe for success.
And they'll move this one down inside the 40-yard line. The air again is Daniels. That is brought in. And he will be taken down. A big pickup on what will be the final play. of this third quarter. So these two teams take the long walk to the opposite end of the stadium. We've come to the end of the third quarter. And Sunday Night Primetime continues after this.
Got it. Ready?
So the big play changes the complexion of things. It's first and goal now from just inside the 10-yard line. They'll run with Krosky Merritt. Nothing there. He is fortunate just to get back to the line. Now it's second and goal.
A little surprising to see them keep the ball on the ground, especially given the situation, Mike. I mean, you're trailing. You haven't had a lot of success running the ball up until this point. They need chunk plays. They need to score, and they need to score fast.
Move back to the 10. They'll try here on second and goal.
Bobcat, 50 Bobcat. Let's go now. Hawk 70, Hawk 70.
Here's Daniels. The blitz gets there, and he lost the football. The Cowboys have it inside the 30. And he returns this all the way. Touchdown, Dallas. And Greg, you talked about it all week. Not just stop them with the defense, but make impact plays, and that is as big a play as you can ask for.
Yeah, across the league, Mike, this continues to be a huge point of emphasis. Every defensive coach starts practice with takeaway circuits. How can we find ways to take the ball away? In this case, they force the fumble, scoop, score, 6 points.
This taken at the 5. And he'll bring it out to the 22-yard line. That's where the offense will take the field.
Their own 22-yard line.
On the shake. Let's go. 18 Cardinal.
On first and 10, here's Daniels. That's swung out to Krosky Merritt. Nice gain here. He's going to be marked down at the 35-yard line. 13 yards to start that drive. And a quick first down.
It's really been a one-sided game, but how often do we see in the fourth quarter the team that finds themselves down by a lot, they start to come alive? I think it's a combination of trying to end the game on a positive note, but also sometimes that defense getting a little lackadaisical. All right, so anytime you're facing the blitz, the best thing you can do as an offense is just get the ball out of your hand. Get into the hands of receiver, run after catch. In this case, nice job by the defense, rallying to the ball. Modest gain.
And they'll bring him down just shy of midfield, but that is enough. It's a first down. Play action. Here's Daniels. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
Brings up second and 18 at the 41.
Throwing on second down. Daniels. And the ball out of the reach of the receiver. Ball's incomplete.
Well, it's late. You're losing. Things really haven't gone your way all day today, and there's really not much left to do other than to try to take some big shots downfield. That time, the coverage is really good and just falls incomplete.
Third and a long way to go. From the shotgun, it's Daniel. He's got his tight end. That's Sinnott. And he's taken down inside the opponent's 35. To throw is Daniels on first and 10. That's McLaurin open on the left side. And he will score again. Harry McLaurin, touchdown Commanders. A 3-touchdown game for him. That's now 5 on the year. So now Daniels and the Commanders offense going to go for 2. That's pulled in. And they're able to tack on the 2-point conversion.
Everything's about matchups, especially down here this close to the goal line. I think my guy's better than your guy. I'm going to put him in a position to have success. throw it up to him and let him do the rest.
He's across the 20, taken down just shy of the 25.
At their own 24-yard line.
So here's a 1st and 10 now. They'll start from the 24.
Let's go.
On the handoff, Blue. And he'll get nothing here. Back to the line of scrimmage, and that's all.
At the line of scrimmage.
2nd and 10.
2nd and 10. At the 24-yard line.
On the ground, it's Blue. And he is stopped in his tracks. Loss of a couple on the play.
21-yard line.
Number one rule of run blocking for the offensive line is you don't want to allow penetration. It just doesn't give your running back any angles to cut and find the hole. It's exactly how it played out here. They've got to do a better job holding the line of scrimmage and not getting pushed back.
A tough spot here. 3rd and long. Now they'll set up to throw. And that is incomplete.
I think this defense is wondering where some of these missed throws were earlier in the game. I mean, for a while, it seemed like everything the offense did hit. And after that last incomplete pass, although this game's all but over, this defense will certainly take it.
Washington takes over 1st and 10 at their own 40-yard line.
They'll come up 1st and 10 at the 40.
Dragon 60. Ready. Ready.
They'll throw with Daniels. That's thrown right side, but incomplete.
And really, it's the interceptions that continue to be a problem, and he's lucky he didn't add to that total. I mean, defender had an opportunity to add another one to the mix, and he just has to do a better job making decisions, finding the open target, and stop forcing bad throws.
That one down the field, but they cannot connect, and it's incomplete.
Well, not exactly breaking news here, Mike. They got speed on the perimeter that just not a lot of teams in the NFL have. So even though that ball falls incomplete, I think they have to continue to do it, continue to pressure this defense and make them defend the entire field. Because as they're worried about him running by them, there is a lot of space open underneath.
Panther 11, Panther 11. Go.
On 3rd down, they'll throw with Daniels. He's got his tight end. That's Pitts. And he's going to be taken down at the 30-yard line.
Hawk 70, Hawk 70.
1st down. 1st and 10.
On play action, Daniels. A diving effort there, just out of his reach. Incomplete.
And the defender does such a good job, Mike, not only putting himself in position to make the play, but how often do we see guys that are there and they just can't quite make it? In this case, he's there, knocks the ball down, really nice play.
Throwing again, Daniel. And they'll hold him to a gain of just a couple and sets up 3rd down.
That's a gain of 3. It's 3rd and 7.
Daniels gonna throw again. He'll let this go towards the end zone.
I like the idea of taking your shot there on 3rd down, pushing the ball downfield, looking for the touchdown. But now as it brings up 4th down, you're already this close. You're in field goal range, but do you keep that offense on the field and try to maintain possession and see if you can come away with 6?
That's over the middle and take it in. He's got it. Tough running there in the red zone. He did not want to go down. And he picks up the 1st down. It'll be 1st and goal. They'll go play action here with Daniel. And he will wisely just get rid of this one and set up 2nd and goal.
This is one of those situations that plays directly into the hands of the defense because think, Mike, they know this offense has to be one-dimensional. This has to be a pass. So what do? They bring in extra defensive backs. They clog up the back end. And at the end of the day, there's just nowhere for the offense to go with the ball.
Laramie Tunsil, the big tackle, flagged there.
On the set.
From a little further back, here's 2nd and goal.
Let's go. Nice. Ready.
Working out of the gun, it's Daniels. Forced out wide, and he'll gain yardage and able to get down at the end of the play.
Great job in coverage here. Nowhere for the quarterback to go with the ball. He decides to tuck it and turn it to a runner. They get to him quickly. Picks up a couple yards, but not enough now. Brings up 3rd down.
So 2 minutes left to play in the second half. Greg and I back on EA Sports after this. A nice drive. This is the 9th play coming up. Can they cash it in on 3rd and goal? That is incomplete. Here we go. They're down to what could be their final play. It's 4th down.
Ready. Set. 19 tight. Night cowboy. Let's go.
They'll go. Here's Daniels. That is incomplete. The defense coming up big in the red zone. It's a turnover on down.
It's a turnover on down.
Again, here comes Blue. And the Commanders come up with the takeaway. And he is going to bring this one back. It is a fumble recovery for a defensive touchdown.
On the ready.
Greg, what a terrible play for the offense. You're trying to gain some momentum. Here you not only lose the handle of the ball, you hand the defense 6 points.
And, Mike, how often do we see that when a player loses the ball, his confidence is not far behind? And I think in this case, that's where the coaching comes in. Put your arm around him. Hey, we're giving you the ball in this next possession. We believe in you. They've got to get this player back into the flow of the game after that back-breaking turnover that led to the defensive touchdown.
He's across the 20 to the 21. That's where the drive will begin. On 1st down, here's Blue. And he will have the 1st down. Even with 3 timeouts on the other side, they're going to be able to run this baby all the way down.
So when you're evaluating the impact of a team's run game, I think it's important at the end of the game to look back and say, okay, how many yards did they run for? But more importantly, when did those yards come? Did I run for those yards in the 4th quarter, which typically means I had to lead? That's the sign of a successful run game, as opposed to getting a lot of meaningless yards early in the game.
They'll run it on the inside handoff. He's fighting to get back to the line of scrimmage, but can't get there. Dropped for the loss of a yard. Last play went the wrong way. It sets up 2nd and long. It's 2nd down and 12. He'll drop to throw. He'll be hit as he throws this time, and it's going to fall incomplete. He might be fortunate just to avoid the sack, and it'll set up a 3rd down.
The relationship between the pass rush and the pass coverage is critical. The better you rush the passer, the more pressure you can take off your coverage, and that's a great example why.
And that is incomplete.
Every so often, Mike, you can see these offenses, and it looks like the passing game gets a little bit too predictable. And as the defense continues to flood the back end of these zones with extra defenders, they're continuing to force this quarterback to not only make some difficult throws, but to put the ball in harm's way.
And how about that? Nice return there, picking his way up past the 35-yard line. First and 10 now from the 36.
7 Pirates, 7 Pirates. 60 Eagles, 60. Ready.
Throwing now, Daniel. And he'll just get rid of this. Smart play to throw it away, and that'll set up 2nd down.
They just have to be more creative with their route concepts, Mike. I mean, there's nobody open, nowhere to go with the ball, and quarterback's just forced to throw that one away.
We'll try again. It's 2nd and 10.
60 Bobcats, 60 Bobcats.
Daniels now going to look to throw. That's into the hands of Lane. He's got it. We'll get about 6 before he's taken down. They'll empty out the backfield, line up for third and 3. There's that man again, another catch. And the defense can't come up with a stop there. Gain of 7 and a first down.
That's good for Washington.
60
First down.
Vikings, 60 Vikings.
First and 10. at the
Looks like movement over there
45-yard
on the left side, and the flag is down.
Red, cycle. Ready.
Here we go. One final play. He'll let one go down the middle. So it's a win here for the visiting Cowboys. And it is their 3rd consecutive victory. They continue to play great football here in this latest stretch. So that'll do it for us. For Greg Olson and our terrific team behind the scenes, I'm Mike Tirico. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. Follow us on X at EA Madden NFL. Good night from just outside our nation's capital.